So I know it's optional and it's not, something that players have to do. I want T. Higgins moving forward to have to wear a Guardian cap. And listen, at the end of the day, I'm not sure if the Guardian cap in the end, is going to stop you from getting concussions 100%. There's still, talk about that, conversation about that, whether how much it does stop you from getting concussions. But, man, seeing this hit, and this is where he got his concussion, I mean, bro, his head just absolutely banged that ground. And let's talk about this. So, again, I know it's optional, but I think moving forward, if we're going to spend as much money as we have on T. Higgins and his contract, we need him on the field. And obviously, part of that is being safe and, playing and not having concussions. And that's definitely, I know this is the first time we're talking about this, but this is very dangerous now. He had a concussion. He missed the Ravens game. He comes back last week. He gets concussed early in the game. And then he got concussed at the end of the game. So he got concussed twice in one game. And then also the Ravens game. That's 3 times in such a short period. That's dangerous. That's very life-threatening type injuries when it comes to having concussions. So the NFL put out a statement. They said T. Higgins was evaluated twice in the game and cleared to return, which I think is kind of ridiculous, to be honest. Listen, I want T. Higgins out there, but if the guy clearly looked like he was concussed, then he got cleared, even though we saw him smash his head, and then comes back in and gets concussed again. I mean, there's got to be a different protocol for that, I feel like. After the game, discussion with a club medical personnel as part of the post-game evaluation, he notified the team he was experiencing symptoms and was immediately placed into concussion protocol. Which, again, listen, I'm just giving my, caveman opinion here. I feel like he might have had a concussion in that game. And maybe he did pass the concussion protocol. And maybe he did end up, playing when he did have a concussion. I don't know. I'm not a medical analysis guy, but I guess you can't pass concussion protocol if you have a concussion. But I guess he got 2 concussions, or I guess 1 concussion in this game. The first one just looked like a concussion. Again, like I said, we're now getting to a point where we're paying these players like $25+ million a year. We're going to have to go a little bit more of a Guardian cap, especially for concussions. Because concussions, you can't prevent concussions 100%. There's just no way to do that. This is a collision sport. This is a gladiator sport. You can't prevent them 100%. You can minimize them, and you can do everything you can to prevent somewhat of them happening with, again, a Guardian cap. And again, I've been the guy who, I really think the Guardian cap is stupid. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do here to potentially avoid any further issues, especially with the concussion stuff. So, hopefully, he considers a Guardian cap moving forward. I know they look goofy and they look stupid, but, I mean, it's all about protecting and keeping the guy out there and keeping the guy safe. And, other than just football here, because obviously we're talking about football, and we're looking at it from a team point of view, like with football, but from a real life point of view, I mean, concussions are not just a short-term thing. Concussions could mess you up for life. We have seen players, especially with CTE, go ahead and do some very awful things off the field after the careers because of head injuries. And obviously, I'm not trying to connect CTE concussions, but it's all about head injuries in general. And concussions, they can kill you. They absolutely can. So, I just hope, we figure something out here. I'm sure there's going to be an investigation. There has to be. I feel like you don't get 2 concussions in one game, or I guess 1, but the first one wasn't, and not have an investigation of why was he allowed to go back out there? if you watch that Bills game, and I think a lot of people agree with me here, he did not look right in that game. He did have the crazy one-handed touchdown because he is T. Higgins at the end of the day. But when he was running his routes and when he was doing certain things, it looked like he was a bit off. And, again, he missed the Ravens game due to concussion. And now in this game, he just looked a bit off. Like, it wasn't 100% T. Higgins. Which, again, are some symptoms of concussions, right? You get a concussion, you're not going to be 100% yourself. Your brain's not working at 100%. So, I'm sure there's going to be an investigation. I don't know how they could prove one way or another. I mean, obviously this is our season in this game, right? This was our season, and losing this game, our season's done now. But I don't know how they could prove, one way or another, they purposely, maliciously put him back out there when he had a concussion. Because concussion, the analysis for concussions, unless I'm incorrect, I believe it's not the team that gets to evaluate it. It's a NFL personnel person on the sideline who evaluates you for a concussion. Because, obviously, and I still laugh because it's ridiculous, but there is a circumstance. A team might put a player back out there when they have a concussion. I'm not saying every team would, but there are teams in the NFL I could think of off the top of my head who would do something like that so that they could try to win a game. Okay? So, at the end of the day, you got to have an NFL personnel person on the sideline because it has to be unbiased. It has to be someone who has no stake in the game, right? Has no, reason to put someone out there who has a concussion. So, yeah, it's, I don't know. At the end of the day, again, like I said, I want what's ever best for T to happen. And I think if this is the case, especially moving forward, because listen, T's going to play, right? And I did mention the $25 million because that is something that's important when it comes to the business side of football, right? But T's going to play. He's going to play the rest of the season. I'm not sure if he's going to play against the Ravens. The only reason I pause is because he has actually missed half of the games in his career versus the Ravens. So it's every time we play the Ravens, T. Higgins just can't play. It's kind of irritating to a certain degree. But, listen, if he has concussion, don't play. I don't want him out there if he has concussion. But it's just kind of ironic how it's every time we play the Ravens, he's missed little. I think we played the Ravens in his career 13 times, and he's missed at least 6 of them. Maybe 7, I believe. So, it's really weird coincidences. Every time we play the Ravens, it's T's no, T's hurt. T can't play. Which, yeah. Anyway, beside the point, Jamar Chase will still cook them alive. It doesn't really matter. As I was saying, though, with T. Higgins, yeah, I mean, he's going to play the other 3 games we have left. He needs a guardian cap. He really does. And maybe other players do, Maybe other players also need guardian caps. Because at the end of the day, I feel that's where football is kind of headed. And over the last couple of years, we have seen more and more players starting to use guardian caps. And I think it's a positive future for that. It might look goofy. It might look ridiculously crazy. But, people who are wearing guardian caps seem to not get hurt with concussions. So, and there's so many memes with Romeo Doubs with his guardian cap. There are so many memes on this. So here is his guardian cap, which, again, like I said, listen, at the end of the day, we're going to find out long term how much this really does help out when it comes to it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it has to do something, right? It can't just be useless. Even if it helps out 5%, it helps out 5%, Hold up. Okay, I thought there was going to be... Oh, here it is. Hey, listen. You know who's not getting a concussion? That guy right there. I mean, if anything, that could be used as a helpful thing in the NFL. Can someone explain? Can someone make Romeo Dobbs' helmet progressively get bigger every week? Okay. Listen, at the end of the day, yeah, we just need to, we need to be smart here, and I can't be serious when I'm looking at Romeo Dobbs with a gigantic helmet. Oh, man. All right, so we didn't look at the second blow, apparently. This is the second blow. He comes down. Oh, yeah. I don't like seeing any Bengals players in that position. But anyway, so, yeah. We just need to be smart here, Be smart. We need these guys on the field. And, concussions, again, long-term wise. It's not just short-term. Long-term wise, concussions definitely can cause a lot of problems. So let's just be smart and do what we need to do. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I will see you guys in the next one.